Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Ghost Prime. We're taking a look at the Mayhem Attack Squad Doom and Destruction 3-pack from the Legacy United line that was just released from it's an Amazon exclusive. And it comes with these 3 characters. You have Malice Minotaurus, Barrage, and Chopshop. And I'm really glad we finally got some of these guys. I really like the deluxe Insecticons. Always could have more Insecticons. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick look at these guys and compare them to the originals and their mold mates. These are partials of Bombshell and Shrapnel. This one shows up as Shrapnel much more than this one shows up Bombshell. It's got much more remolded parts. Anyway, please like and subscribe and all that. Without any further ado, let's get to the review. Starting off with the box here, you get some nice renderings of both Chopshop and Barrage and Minotaurus. Wrecker Minotaurus, that is. You got the Legacy United logo here. It's the Doom and Destruction collection with the Mayhem Attack Squad. You get the Mayhem Attack Squad logo right there at the tentacles. Chopshop and Barrage on one side. On the other side, you got the logo. Minotaurus, whatever. What's his name? Malice Minotaurus. Can't give it a simpler name. But Chopshop both modes, Barrage both modes, and Wrecker Malice Minotaurus right there in both modes. On the bottom is nothing to be concerned with. So in the box you do get a set of instructions right here, which are clearly defined. They fold out like a poster. And a bunch of accessories. These actually I have attached to the gun still. But this is Chopshop's gun. That is exactly the same as Bombshell. Bombshell's weapon is exactly the same as this. Not painted, just cast in green. And these are also pieces from Bombshell. Now what is new from Chopshop is these 2 pieces here that are cast in green as well. And these fit on the back of his arms where the other ones would. Also, you saw earlier, and is also present on Bombshell. These connect to this gun, which actually make it look like a whole new gun, which is appreciated. And next you do get these pieces here, which are nicely sculpted. I love the detail on it. Actually almost looks very Bandai with that detail. Really dig that. And these fit in right here on Chopshop on either side. Now you do also get 2 of these, just like you did with Shrapnel. And you get a recolor of Shrapnel's weapon, which is cast in orange and painted in brown. Now these, it's also, I believe, was also on Shrapnel. You could do this. You combine these weapons together to make a different weapon. Maybe you can even put it, I guess you put it upside down if you want it longer. And you get 2 blast effects pieces, which go on the Minotaur guy. And Malice Minotaurus does come in his mode like this. It's a big hammer mode, and you could stick the blast effect pieces on either side. And any character can hold them that has a 5mm peg. So with that, getting this guy transformed. Now he is also repaint. I don't have the original weaponizer version of him. I never got it. I think it was a core class. But he transforms fairly simple, easy, into a little bull guy. And I can't really tell what that symbol is on his head. To see if I can get up close. It looks like just a little spot. His tail can just stick out the back like that. Or you could pull that off. And it will stick a little peg right there. Maybe this way like this. Peg that, slot that in there. And I slot it like that. Under his arm. So he has a gun he could fire. Pew pew, pew 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 pew. And I believe it is also blast effect compatible. Little gun, big blast. And for me, the main event are these 2. Which is Chopshop and Barrage. I've always really wanted these guys to get their own molds. Unfortunately, that is not the case with these. They're pretty nice, though. He has much more molded parts on him within that full chest right there. But if you turn him around, you see there's the chest of Bombshell on the back. Clever use. of the sculpt that you have. Maybe clever use of the budget. He has a Decepticon logo there, and he has a pretty nicely sculpted head. And I like how the eyes seem to be outlined in black. Very cool. Articulation-wise, it's all the same as the other ones, all the Insecticons. The legs are exactly the same. There's a lot the same. I think these are not the same shoulder pieces. They even have the piece that comes in, which is cool on this because it actually gives a little bit more articulation, as in butterfly joints, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, all the same exact articulation. And Chopshop here has a couple new pieces besides these pieces on the arms here, which I showed earlier. These top pieces here are brand new, and he has a nice head sculpt. Again, retains all the same articulation. Now, I wish he had a new chest to look like the Generation 1 a little bit more. I see what they did, and from a distance it looks okay, but it still looks like an old, like regular Insecticon from the front, not a deluxe, which I really would love a full new character. I would still buy a very new, all new mold of these guys. The legs are the same as both Shrapnel and Bombshell. And bringing the older ones in for comparison, the G ones, my antenna piece on this is broken like most of them. I am looking for a replacement, but that's how they compare. We'll start over here, zoom in on these guys. So I do find it a shame that this new one does not come with his sword, which would be really cool if he came with the sword. The gun, again, is not at all the same, but you get it. I think the color breakup on this is really nice. They did reverse this a little bit, like the head's down here or the head's here. This would have been green and these would have been yellow if it were the actual colors of the G1, but the color breakdown is okay for me. Overall, I think the head sculpt is a really good upgrade to that one. And moving on to Chopshop, it's actually a pretty decent representation, even though, again, the crotch is wrong. You should have all orange and brown instead of this way. I would have liked that, and they always seem to do that for some reason on these things, and I really just don't know why they can't make it a little more accurate. It looks good. Like I said, beyond this, it actually looks good. If they made this piece right here the same color instead of the translucent, I think it would have looked a little better, personally. But I like the almost peck look that he has here. So that's something I've always liked, this aesthetic I like. So I'm maybe a little biased on that. I do think they actually look good together, and they do a good job of making Barrage look how he could off of this. The shoulders do show up as orange. I don't know if you can see there's an orange spot on the original. So the coloration is pretty good on these. The head is also really, really nicely done. And mimics that original one very, very well. I don't have his original weapon, but it did not look like this. But yeah, so I think they did a pretty good job mimicking the originals. Move on to a quick comparison with Shrapnel and Chopshop here, so you can see exactly how they did the coloration. The color is what really makes this one look different. So you could get a good idea here. Now, they did a good job on the coloring, like I said before, besides the aforementioned crotch part. And here's Barrage with Bombshell. Like I said, I dig how they did that whole chest. Like, it's basically that back plate, which is completely remolded. Stand up. And that is his back. I don't even mind the clear piece right there. I think it looks okay. So I think they did a really good job differentiating these two. Like I said, these are the same. I never realized if they ever checked if these could move. Yeah, they can. Exactly the same. But they did a good job, I think, on the coloration and these extra pieces here, which really work out on him. So getting into transformation, the only one I'm really going to show is this one, because there's new parts on this one that have a little bit of new transformation. Otherwise, it's exactly the same as the previous two, which I've done videos on. Transforming him, you basically take the chest piece and move that up over the face, and that covers the face plate. And that really concludes the difference in transformation. So we'll just move on from here. And then we have Barrage in his alt mode. And I like these little legs better than the Bombshell. And I think it looks pretty good. Bring in Bombshell so you get a comparison on these two. The paint, the white paint is really striking on this. It really works well to separate these two from being just different. Also, we don't have to turn the waist on this because it's oriented correctly from the start. The hands or the arms are differently oriented, so the legs come on the side instead of under like these. And I think it gives it an overall better look. I had to bring in my original. Without the front end, of course, it usually stuck out pretty far. But I give you a good idea of what they did to these two. And honestly, the stripe really works. I think they did a good job with this one. It looks pretty good. Let's set him aside. Bring in Chopshop. And go over transformation real fast. And there he is. I really dig these new legs on the side. I think they look really great. And overall, I got some stripes to show up. And some other sticker detail, or painted detail, rather. That look pretty good. So bringing shrapnel in, there they are together. So you can see they are the same, but those extra legs really do set it a little bit apart. And the extra pieces here, you know, I think you could tell they're the same. A little bit more than Bombshell and Barrage. And here is with the G1 version. And this is kind of where I think it falls apart just a tad. Where you don't get the big giant thruster pieces on the back. So it's nice to have these pieces be a little bit remolded to mimic that. The chest piece collapsing, making a, connecting there to white isn't there. So it seems to be that this was designed to be robot mode before it was alt mode. It's fine enough, I guess. I still would love to see a whole new mold done, because this one's actually really cool. And this just looks like a repaint. It looks good in robot mode, though, I will say that. Here they are together. And here they are with Ransack, so all we need is Venom to complete the set now. I do hope we do get a Venom, and I would love to see a new mold from it, because Venom, I don't think he really resembles one of the other ones. Let me know what you think. You think that there's a good mold candidate for Venom, or it should be an entirely new mold? Anyway, there they are. So on to the final thoughts. So to conclude, yes, I do wish these guys had fully new molds. I would love to see new molds of all the Deluxe Insecticons. It kind of got to take do with what we have here, which is kind of unfortunate because we haven't actually seen fully new molds of these guys. There's a lot of good remolded parts, and this is a really good use of Bombshell. Honestly, I think this is the standout of the set. Barrage here does a really good job of setting itself as a different character than Bombshell. Chopshop, on the other hand, definitely shows up as Shrapnel in a lot of ways, especially the alt mode. His robot mode is acceptable, but his alt mode is just Shrapnel, and it's apparent. I love the new parts, though. These new arms are awesome. Really cool new parts. The new sculpted detail on all of them, or both of these, are really, really cool. The re-release of this is just sort of a throwaway add-in, in my opinion. If you're excited about it, awesome. That's great. Myself, not so much. But yeah, let me know what you think of these guys. And let me know if you think they should get new molds completely in the comments. And I'll see you in my next review.